got mail.
Don't find too many guys that treat me like you do. Those are the guys that wanna take me for a ride. But when I walk, they talk of suicide. Some people never get beyond their stupid pride. But you can see the real me inside, and I'm satisfied. Oh no. Gods are crazy, even though the stars are blind. If you show me real love, baby, I'll show you mine. I can make it nice and naughty, make a devil and angel.
Oh, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? Who knows what song that was? Any guessers? You guys probably know because we talked about the last stream. Doing a little something different right now. I'm using the Air, what is it called? Air display from my desktop over to the to my 50-inch over here. So now I can see myself on the opposite side of the room. But then I have to reach all the way over to the opposite side to touch my mouse, so I can control the screen. It's gonna be a quick cocktail hour. What time is it, dude? It's like early. Jesus. It's only like 4:52. I woke up very early today. I thought it was like 9 o'clock. It's only like 5 o'clock. Well, I did the Priscilla podcast over on Spare Change. If you guys caught that or not, I still got to edit that video. I'll put that up later tonight after I get off here and have me some food. But we got, who do we got here today? We got the normal usual suspects. You got Mr. Jean over here. What's up, man? Bottoms up. We only got one cocktail today. Then we're going to call it a quits. And Ricardo, what's up, man? But what are we going to talk about today? I really have nothing to talk about today. We're going to talk about the Porcella speakers. Porcella speakers, hopefully I get those in soon. I know I spoke to Chuck about that after we got off the video of the podcast on the other channel, Spare Change. So hopefully I get, he's supposed to send over like 5 of those P6s. So that's en route. That's en route over to my place. And if anybody's interested, I don't know, all 5 of you guys, all 8 of you guys here, my Barrows and Wilkins may be up for sale. If you guys are interested in that at some point in time. We are we rocking the Star Wars Last Jedi. I think this is probably going to be at some point a collector's item. The Last Jedi. I got this from Regal Cinemas. I made sure I didn't scratch it while I washed it. But this will easily hold 3 beers. In case you're wondering, if you ever see me sitting here on Spare Change with this cup, there's likely 3 beers in here. What do we got? The JTR speakers are growing on me. They look like the real deal box speakers that look like I could make them out of my basement with a spray gun and a table saw. You are correct, Jean-Baptiste, Jean-Sebastian. You could totally make those JTR speakers out of your garage with a spray gun and a table saw. I have no doubt in my mind that you can do that. You showed me pictures. I saw your subwoofer. If you can make that subwoofer, you can definitely make those JTR speakers. And pay 12 times the cost, most likely. Where's the... Have I ever heard of Tecton Designs? Yeah, I've heard of Tecton Designs. I think if you order those, you got to be on like a waiting list for like months to get those Tectons. I think I hit him up like 2 years ago or something like that. He said there'd be like a year waiting list or 8-month waiting list or something. I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm not gonna review any of these speakers anytime soon. And I don't know anybody that owns Tecton speakers. At least I believe that guy that makes the Tecton speakers, he makes them out of his place. I don't think he has like a big facility like let's say JTR would have. But his designs, those look like legit designs, unlike like building a box and throwing a couple of drivers in it and throwing a horn in it and then charging you $4,000. Like those Tecton speakers look legit. Like if I was gonna buy some homegrown speakers, I would probably go with Tecton design speakers rather than the other ones. That's what I would do. Ricky Zuko, when are you doing your review on the new subwoofer, the 18-inch for $1,700? I'm probably gonna do that probably this weekend. I'm just waiting for another piece to come in, and then I could do it properly. Because right now I'm having some DC offset issues right now. DC offset, that's kind of like when you get noise in your power lines. I haven't experienced that with any other subwoofer I've had in here, which is a bunch. A little odd that it would be this subwoofer that I paid for. But we'll see. We'll see what happens on Tuesday or Thursday after I get that piece in. If nothing happens, then I will have to mention it in the video. So the LSXs are gone. How do you like the Bowers near field? I met your boy. Mr. No Name. I met your boy. I spoke to your boy, your neighbor, Mr. Propaganda, the other day on the phone. He's supposed to join me at some point in time, maybe this weekend, maybe this Saturday. But these are okay. Not the ideal near field speakers, but I sold the LSXs. If you guys are on my Patreon, I sold them for only a few $100s. You guys missed out on that one. That was a good deal. I shipped them off today, actually. These are okay. They're a little overpowering on my desk. I think I'm going to move my desk around. I may be getting some Dynaudio monitors. Hopefully. I don't know what's going on with that. They're like this whole Chinese tariff thing or whatever the hell's going on over there. It's like holding up shipment. So Dynaudio should be coming in. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe the next 8 weeks or so. I have no idea. But those are bigger speakers, so I might put the monitor... Actually, I might take this desk here, put it over there, and the small desk, slide it over there, just so I can fit everything. But these probably not the ideal speakers for your desktop, so I wouldn't do that. I only did this because I got the audio control amp, and I owe them I got to do a review for those guys, and they're powering these the B&Dubs. So, I'm not a fan of having these speakers on my desk. Plus, they're like fucking humongous. They sound decent, though. They sound decent enough. Overkill for the desk, for sure. No doubt. What is it? What do you say? Yikes, that's rough. Yeah, every review in person I hear talk about the sound seems to love them, even if they look rough. Well, I think we're talking about the JTR speakers. That's fine. Listen, just because everybody says they're good, that's cool. I got my own opinions. Sound is subjective. Looks are subjective. You might think my wife is ugly. I might think she's beautiful. I might think your wife or husband is beautiful. And you might think they're ugly, or vice versa. Very subjective thing, you know what I'm saying? Speakers. Listen, if I want an ugly ass pair of speakers in my house, I would make them myself. Like, why would I spend a premium amount of money for some ugly ass speakers? Why would you do that? Just because they're big and they have huge drivers? I find a lot of the community look at speakers and they're like, oh shit, it's got a 24-inch driver in it. It's got to fucking rock my world. But it's got the finish that looks like my daughter fucking painted on them. So why does that fucking make it good? Just because it's got a big ass driver in it and it looks like a box? Like there was no fucking like there was no thought process into building it, except for maybe you're figuring out your enclosure size and your Vmax, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Is that what makes it important for speakers? Or listen, do you want to sit in your couch and look over at your girl and she be butt ugly? Or you want to sit in your couch, look at your man, he's butt ugly, but she has a nice voice, or he has a nice voice? They have a nice personality? No, man, you want the whole package, right? You want the whole package. I understand. People are like, personality is where it really comes through and it shines. I get it. But I think most people are kind of shallow. And I think that if you were to look at your significant other and it was butt ugly, you probably wouldn't be with them, right? There's got to be some kind of attraction there. I'm going to offend some people here. But listen, if I'm sitting there, I'm looking at my speakers and they look butt ugly, I know which speakers you're talking about. They butt ugly. If I can make my own speakers myself, they're probably going to come out butt ugly because I'm not a woodworker. They can have the most expensive drivers in the world. My significant other can have the best personality in the world. He'd be the kindest person in the world. My speakers could exude magical audio frequencies in the world. But if it's butt ugly, I ain't going to want to look at it. And if you guys get so enamored with, so persuaded by size, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. I don't know what's going on with you, man. What's happening here? That's not me. Whatever. I guess I'm shallow. I like to have a pretty looking, I think my wife is pretty. I think all my speakers are pretty. And those speakers you're looking at, those ugly ass speakers you're looking at, come on. No, man. Nope. Pass. I don't care. That doesn't impress me. It doesn't impress me. It's a rectangular box. How impressive is that? So he put a big, there's a nice cherry stain on it. Wonderful. At least like curve over the edges or something. Make it look nice. People in the audio world, I think the people in the audio world, people in the audiophile world, I think they care more about aesthetics and sound as a whole, whereas I think people in the home theater world, they care about what is fucking big and what is loud, and they have no comprehension of what sounds good and even looks good. So I think there's a big differentiator between the audiophile world and the home theater world. And the home theater world is really hung on size when it comes to subwoofers. And they don't even care about the rest of the speakers. It's like, I will see a Denon 2600 AVR and some $9,000 hard bottle subwoofers, dual 24 inchers, and some Klipsch speakers. No offense, all due respect to Klipsch owners out there. I will see a $400 AVR, $20,000 worth of subwoofers, and about $1,000 worth of speakers. Why? Because the subwoofer is so big and it's gigantic. I'm like, what? I'm like, what is wrong with people, man? Then when I see videos of like these ugly ass fucking speakers, that humongous. People are just like, oh, fucking getting wet in my pants here, fucking dripping in my drawers, because there's some big ass speakers. Look like boxes. Look like refrigerators. Yo, get out of here, man. Get out of here with that. And they cost a lot of money. Get out of here with that. Yo, for the same price of those speakers you're talking about, and give me a pair of full house Operas, I would destroy those as far as intimacy and fucking nuance. Get out of here. I'd probably pick up a pair of like Yamaha monitors. Fuck out of here. Just because they ain't got bass. Who cares? Bigger is better attitude. Maybe bigger is better attitude if you're looking at your significant other, male or female. Bigger might be better in that way, if that's what you're talking about. in certain areas, if you're talking about like a personal thing. As far as like audio, stop, man. You'll stop with that. Hate seeing shit like that. That's when I know. That's when I know that you don't have a good ear for sound. When I see some shit like that, that's when I know. I was like, come on, man. Yeah, I go in the Facebook group sometimes. When I go into Facebook groups, I like skim through. I barely go on Facebook because it's always what I just fucking told you. It's always the same shit. I think this is one guy that's got like, I don't know how many fucking gigantic subwoofers surrounding his little tiny ass screen. And there's always like subwoofer measurements all the time. I was like, how many subwoofer measurements you got to post all the time in this Facebook group? I was like, really? Do you got to take a measurement every week? And it looks flat every week. Fantastic. You got it flat. How much flatter could you get? Are you looking for ruler flat? But there's like fucking like a dozen subwoofers surrounding them, and there's like fucking this fucking. That shit don't impress me, man. It's not impressive to me. That don't impress me. Come on, that doesn't impress me. Maybe if we were talking like if this was like a car audio channel, this is like a car audio channel, and you were talking about SPL and big drivers. All right, cool, I get it. That makes sense. I used to be into car audio. I used to have big subs. I even used to have those big ass Audiobahn subs. You guys remember Audiobahn? I had this I had this Audiobahn sub that had like these flames on it. This 12-inch sub was about this big, like legit. It was like this big, and the magnet was about this fucking big. It was all chrome plated with like these flames on it. That's what. And back then, that was like really gaudy and stuff like that. And then I see people buying these gigantic enclosures for their houses, and that's what I picture. That's what I picture for the state of home theater in a specific subset of people. That you're buying audio subs for your house just because they're bigger. They look big and bad. And I'll tell you what, I got some 18-inch subwoofers here. And for those people out there that are like, 18-inch subs can sound just as good as 10-inch sub or a 12-inch sub or a fucking 8-inch sub. You smoking some fucking crack, man. When you're like, yo, this 18-inch sub can sound be just as agile as this fucking 12-inch sub. Shut up. No, it's not. No, it doesn't. And I've had some pretty nice. I've had a couple of nice big ass subs in here. But to be fair though, I think the SMS 18 from the Skendo was taut. It was definitely taut sounding. Could it sound like a 12-inch sub? No, it didn't sound like a 12-inch sub. Maybe it sounded like a 15-inch sub. As far as like tactile response and nuance, maybe like a good 15-incher. But the 18-inch that I've been listening to, that is supposed to be like an audiophile, very fast and reactive, very pistonic sounding. No, man, like what are you guys talking about? Like stop. 18-inch subs, man. 18-inch subs are bigger. They don't sound nothing like a 10-inch, 12-inch driver. They just don't. I don't care how much money you put into it. They just don't. I think I've listened to enough subs. I think the world is like I think when you go on these forums and all that, where they're like, "Hey man, this 18-inch sub or this 24-inch sub, so fast, so fast." That's because you don't want to spend the $4,000 or $5,000 on that awesome 12-inch subwoofer. You'd rather spend the $4,000 or $5,000 on dual 18-inchers or dual 24-inch subwoofers, just because it's bigger and it's better looking. So you don't even know what the $4,000 12-inch sub looks like. I see that shit, man. Oh, man, I see that shit all the time. I've been listening to these 8-inch subs. I'm like, man, I was like, yeah, they sound badass, but still, yo, your fucking 24-inch sub, your 18-inch sub, it's not a musical. It's just not a musical fucking sub, man. It's not. Maybe if you want to parlay that large size into like handling the ULF, quote unquote, ultra low frequency, yeah, man, that's cool. You can cross it over a little bit lower, but man, if you want some real punch and speed, if you get a fucking 12-inch or you get a very nicely spec'd 15-inch, I would say like 15, 12, 10. Boom, 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 boom. It's like you get a nice 10, 12-inch subwoofer. That's like a slap to the face. That's like you just cheated on your girlfriend and she slapped you in the face. Whereas you get like a 18-inch sub, that's more like you cheated on your girlfriend or your boyfriend and she just like she just hauls off and like hits you in the face with a fucking closed fist. That's like boom, a money shot right there. That's like a 8-inch sub. But like a 10, 12-inch sub, that's like you getting slapped. That's like a jab. It's like a jab to the face. Difference in subwoofers. Difference in speed in subwoofers. I see audiophile systems with 18-inch subs, 18-inch speakers, and no little little sub anywhere. You missing out. You're just missing out. There's like nuances in audio recordings and even home theater recordings that you just can't. You're not picking up on a big ass driver. You're just not doing it. That's my rant. Whatever. I don't even know how we got to that point, but that's the rant. What else? What else we gotta say here? What other questions we got here? Who we got? The next. I can't read that. Shane, love ya, but not on board with you. I have two JL F113s and MK S5000 subs before it mounted them out of my theater for my Seaton F18s. You think your Seaton F18s are more tactile and musical sounding? I've heard the Seaton F18s. Are you going to say you think your F18s are much better than the MKs? F113? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're telling me right now? Is that what you're saying right now? But that's fine though. Subjective. Totally subjective. Totally subjective. You've been a nice contributor, so I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to get into it with you about that. Oh, one of my favorite subscribers here, Mr. Ender Robinson. Agree. I'd rather have 4 small subs than 2 huge subs. There you go. See that? I guess we agree on something. I put The Last Boy Scout on DVD for $1 last year. That's a movie I have not seen in a long time. I've not seen that movie in a long time. That was with Damon Wayans and Bruce Willis. I think that's The Last Boy Scout, right? Was that not a Ridley Scott movie? Mr. Tristan in the house. Can't even call you Tristan anymore. I'm just call you Mr. Jones here. Keeping up with the Jones. 4 small subs are better than 2 big subwoofers. Or you could do 2 small subwoofers and 2 big subwoofers. I would go that route. That's what I'm doing right now. Pretty badass, actually. Who's this? Loda High. Oh, what's up, Loda High? I've not seen your username here before. Damn, dude, what's going on here? When's the last time you bought a DVD? When's the last time I bought a DVD? Jesus, when was the last time I bought a DVD? That was like in the 90s sometime. That was the last time I bought a DVD. Maybe like the 90s. Tony Scott. I was close. I said Ridley Scott. Tony Scott. You right on that. When paired with my Alcons LCR, they blend better and match output better. You know, I wouldn't mind getting some Alcons. I should probably reach out to them. I went on their website and they have like such a diverse variety of speakers that I looked at them. I was just like, fuck, I would need to like pay attention to the website because shit's all over the place. I was like, man, I don't know. And then I ended up going to Procella because kind of the same concept. I think Alcons uses ribbon tweeters, if I'm not mistaken. I think the Alcons and I think the Procella, they're on compression drivers. Somewhat similar, I think, because I think Alcons have like 2-part speakers. Am I correct on that? There's like the ribbon, and then there's like the bass section that you can pair up. If I'm not mistaken. So who knows? After I get these, hopefully I get these Procellas up in here soon. Tony Scott is the Michael Bay of the 80s and 90s. He was. What did Tony Scott do? He did he do Armageddon? No, that was Michael Bay. I'm thinking of Armageddon. Top Gun, right? Top Gun. Wasn't that Tony Scott or was that Ridley Scott? Tony Stark, have you seen 4K 77 and 4K 83 unaltered 4K versions of Star Wars? The grain is heavy but looks very detailed. Yeah, Top Gun data. Have I seen those? I've only seen them on YouTube. I haven't seen them in person. Like I haven't downloaded them, so I mean, I've seen the originals before. I'm sure they look good. You know what? I still have the DVDs. No, speaking of DVDs, I do still have the original trilogy or whatever it's called on DVD. Actually, I think they're the special edition DVDs. They're in that the box with Darth Vader's face on it. It's like black. It's embossed. I still got that. I'm pretty sure it's DVD, not Blu-ray. I have good contacts with Alcons. Was their first U.S. residential install. Help them build their 2016 CA demo room. Oh, there we go. Then the Zext. All right, the Zext. Well, hit me up. Shoot me an email. Tell them about me. Tell them to give me some stuff over here. Send me their email. Don't put the email in the chat here. Email me their email. Yo, Shane, your thoughts on Daft Punk's retirement? I guess that's sad. I'm not a big. I never really listened to Daft Punk, so I can't really say. I mean, good stuff on Tron Legacy. Awesome soundtrack there. I mean, I guess we could play it, right? I guess we could play Daft Punk's. if there's a movie on 4K that I wouldn't mind checking out in Atmos, would be Tron Legacy, because that has an awesome soundtrack. Let's bring it up here. I love I can play that here and not get copyright strikes because this isn't monetized over here. No, I actually listened to the soundtrack last week, to be honest with you. We were listening to this when we were checking out. We were listening to the soundtrack when we were checking out a couple of the pre-pros, a couple of the integrateds that we have that I got here for review. Let's Tron Legacy. Tron Legacy. Tron Legacy, Cobuzz. Shout out to Cobuzz if you guys are not Cobuzz subscribers. Fairly cheap. You get a lot of options on Cobuzz. I've been using it for the past year and a half. Cobuzz and Tidal. Cobuzz and Tidal. I think I use Cobuzz more than Tidal, actually. Now that I think about it. Yeah, this whole you can't listen to Tron Legacy on your phone because it just doesn't do it justice. It was like a shit ton of bass in this soundtrack. On your phone, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, Tony Scott committed suicide. I remember that. I remember hearing about that. Shane, random question. How long is your cable run from projector to pre-pro, and what are you using for that connection? Just got a pigeon cable, and it is blowing me away with the picture quality. What am I using? I got a 25-foot run, and I forgot the name of it, but it's some HDMI fiber cable, some kind of a fiber cable. I forgot the name of it though. It's not Audio Quest. It's not an Audio Quest one. Listen, if it was a 25-foot Audio Quest cable, probably cost more than my car. So no, I think I paid. I don't think it wasn't that much money either, dude. It was like $80 or something. It's like a fiber cable. I gotta look it up though. Mr. Jones, gotta run to the kids. All right, man. Enjoy your dinner. Another Daft Punk. Got a lot of Daft Punk fans up in there. DVD will always be king of physical media because it's price over picture and audio quality. You probably right about that. You ain't wrong about that. People more enamored with price rather than quality. It's kind of like going to McDonald's rather than going to your local burger restaurant. People would just rather spend go to the dollar menu at McDonald's than spend the $8 on that hand-formed burger with lettuce, tomato, pickles, and onion at the local shop. They'd rather do 99-cent burger at McDonald's because it's cheaper. It doesn't matter if it tastes good. It doesn't matter if it's healthier. They just rather go to McDonald's because it's cheaper. That's a consensus. I've known that. I've learned that starting ever since doing YouTube. I've learned that the majority of folks are cheap. It's just facts. Nothing wrong with that. I'm cheap too. I'm a cheap guy. I'm cheap when it comes to certain things. I'm cheap when it comes to I'm trying to think, what am I cheap at, man? I guess maybe if I was gonna buy a comb, if I was gonna buy like a brush or something like that to comb my hair, I would probably go for the cheap comb. I probably wouldn't buy like the expensive comb. If I'm shipping something, I would probably go to like UPS rather than FedEx. Actually, no, FedEx is cheaper than UPS. So if I was going to ship something, I would go to like FedEx than UPS because it's the same thing, but it's still different because it's cheaper. So I get it. Yeah, probably DVDs are still going to be the best forever. So yeah, it makes sense. Vincent Smith, King, because of, I can't read that, man. Because of all the TV series that will never be on anything else, physical media would not look better anyways. I don't know. I don't know anything about TV shows on DVD actually. Like I don't watch a lot of TV shows, so can't really say anything about that. What's TV? I'm still watching Community. I'm on season 6 of Community. I don't even know if that's on Blu-ray. It's on Netflix though. I'm almost done. I tell you what, Community after season 5 really sucks balls. I don't know why I'm still watching it. I buy a toilet brush from the dollar store because who cares? It's a toilet brush. I would do the same thing. You're right about that. All right, so if I'm going to ship a package, I would go FedEx over UPS. If I was going to buy a toilet brush, I would probably go to the dollar store instead of going to Home Depot. So that makes sense too. Yeah. I mean, how much better could a toilet brush be? I would go for the cheap toilet brush. DVD killed off 2 higher quality medias, high vision, HDLD, and DVHS. Well, come on, man. Laserdisc was not going to last because if it was a long movie, you had to switch discs. Could you imagine if the Snyder Cut came on Laserdiscs? We're talking about like 8 Laserdiscs here. That ain't never going to happen. Unless compression got so good they can shrink it to fit down on Laserdiscs. I mean, that'd be kind of cool because I wouldn't mind having a big Laserdisc with like H.265 encoding on it, where you could just put fucking. Actually, you could put, if you had a Laserdisc with less compression on it, with H.265 with less compression, that'd be pretty sick. I didn't even know how size would. No, that'd be awesome because you could fit way more data on a platter that size. So that'd be pretty badass, actually. But then DVHS, those tapes are always going to run out. They're always going to get worn out and die. So it makes sense that Laserdisc and DVHS died. SpongeBob is on DVD. Community is on Blu-ray, I believe. What are you talking about SpongeBob? Is somebody talking about SpongeBob? Arash, are you going to do another series of comparisons of physical 4K disc versus streaming, Monster Hunter, etc.? Am I gonna do the comparison? Have I really ever done a comparison of Monster Hunter? I tell you what, Monster Hunter, one of my most viewed movie reviews. That's a digital stream for whatever reason. A lot of the folks out there, subscribers, were interested in Monster Hunter. And if you guys haven't seen Monster Hunter on digital, it's not like a good movie. I don't think I ever said it was a good movie. I think in that review I said I enjoyed it. Like, you can enjoy a bad movie. I enjoy plenty of bad movies. Just because I enjoy a movie doesn't mean it's a good movie. Monster Hunter is an enjoyable, not so good movie. It's not a bad movie, but it's not like the best movie. But is it kind of a stupid movie? It's kind of a stupid movie, yeah. Is the acting kind of bad? Yeah, the acting is kind of bad, sure. The effects are, I would say half of the effects are kind of badass. I think the other half, not so badass. But the sound, I mean, the bass, for the people that are interested in gigantic subwoofers, in ugly subwoofers, then this movie, man, Monster Hunter, is for you, because that movie, I can't think. I'm trying to think how it compares to like Tenet. I think Tenet was like my de facto for bass. But after watching Monster Hunter on digital, mind you, I'm sure it's a little bit better on physical. But even watching late at night at a low volume, man, the bass on Monster Hunter was just like fucking crazy. It was like so much bass. I was like, damn. I was like, I can't even turn. I could barely turn up the volume to the point where I could hardly hear the vocals. That's how much bass was on it. And I was like, shit, man. I was like, god damn. I gotta to be considerate of the neighbors. I had to wait till the next day and rewatch it because I know they would have been very upset with me if I was cranking it at like 2, 3 in the morning. Like that's how much bass is in Monster Hunter. Yes, granted, I do have the 18s. Maybe the 18s had something to play a role in the whole experience. But so much bass in the movie. I mean, and everything was level matched too. I have everything, all my speakers are level matched perfectly. Everything's perfectly level matched. So I don't even know if it was the 18 inches fault, but all things being considered, being level matched, so much bass though. So much bass. That's the thing I get. That's the thing I get all the time. Every time I'm like, yo, I always get some dumbasses in my movie reviews that are like, it doesn't matter how many times I'll say it. I'm like, hey man, this is not a review on the movie itself. I'm just gonna share my thoughts on the video and the audio quality. Let's go over a few tech specs. It's not a review on the movie. Most people are like, you have the shittiest taste in movies. I'm like, listen, it's not a review on the movie. I fucking said right at the get-go, right in the first 60 seconds, it's not a review on the movie. I'm not a movie reviewer. Nobody cares my thoughts on movie reviews. Nobody cares if I like a movie. You guys are here to see if it looks or sound good on your home theater. That's what you guys are here for. But I'm gonna say, like, there's a good like 30% of people that just think I'm a movie reviewer for some reason. It doesn't make any sense. And then I've learned to ignore it. Recently, I've learned to ignore it when most people say I'm a shitty movie reviewer. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'm not reviewing the movie, but I'm a shitty movie reviewer. Well, I guess so, because I haven't reviewed the movie, so how can I be a shitty movie reviewer? But that's like that's like a thing. On my 4K reviews, everybody thinks I'm reviewing a movie. But yeah, man, Godzilla. I mean, not Godzilla. I mean, Monster Hunter. If you are a fan of movies, maybe not the movie for you. If you're a fan of audio AV, movie for you for sure. You must own it if you are into audio and video. If you hear otherwise, if you go to like Blu-ray.com or whatever, or another channel that says they don't like the audio and video, then you should really like disregard those channels because they got some shitty setups. One of the best audio mixes I've heard, no doubt. Sound effect wise, kind of shitty, but audio wise, like placement and immersiveness, fuck, really good though, really fucking good. I mean, that soundtrack though, very video gamey. Some of those, you know how like a 8-bit video game sounds. Like there's some of those effects in there in that movie. Not so hot. I had to knock it a couple points for that. If it was like, if they had like Hans Zimmer doing the music score and that shit, fucking 10. No doubt 10. There are so many ignorant people on the internet, no offense to anyone. Yeah, there's a lot of ignorant people. It's okay though. Everybody's entitled to be ignorant. What's this? Yeah, a lot of 4K streams. I'm happy. Heat and Speed finally getting 4K physical. Yeah, man, I can't wait for Heat. Well, I mean, Heat's been on 4K on iTunes for the longest time. I actually did a review on Heat many years ago, like 2 years ago, right? 2-3 years ago, I did a review on Heat. That was on iTunes for the longest time. I don't know if it's gonna get an Atmos remix, but I would assume that the video is not gonna look any like that much different. So I mean, if you want to check out Heat now, it's on iTunes. It's been on iTunes for years. I remember when they said it was gonna come on physical like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And if I recall, I'm trying to think the last time I watched Heat. It wasn't like unless they change it between now and then. I don't think Heat was that fantastic looking on 4K. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think it was. I mean, it's an old movie and it's on film. I know people don't like that film look, and it's got a specific Michael Mann look to it. So I mean, I don't think people are going to be like blown away by it. And those guys that say they're blown away by it are the same people that are blown away by the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Those are the same people that are going to be like, Heat is the best shit ever. It's not going to be the best shit ever. It's just not going to be. Those are the motherfuckers that, fucking Lord of the Rings are fucking awesome. Stop. You probably like gigantic 18-inch fucking speakers too, right? That's you. That's what you are. I want Snatch on 4K. I want Snatch in real life. That's what I want. Oh no, we got some drama. We got some drama in the chat here. Isaac Rodriguez, fiber optic is the way to go. Long runs of HDMI. Fiber optic, man. That's how you do it. When you have a 150-inch screen, I basically want everything on 4K or I get annoyed with the blur. There we go, Mr. What's his name? Tyriel 311. See, that's what happens when gentleman says he has a 150-inch screen and he gets annoyed with the blur. That's kind of like when you watch Lord of the Rings and there's some blur in it. Blur is a lot easier to see at 150 inches than it is at 65 inches or 75 inches or 40 inches or 7 inches or 7 inches, because I know a lot of people like to watch movies on their phones. A lot of people like to listen to home theater demos on their phone and say they can hear a difference. Those guys are assholes. And yeah, when you got a bigger screen, it's easier to notice imperfections. And if you have a 150-inch screen, listen, I got a 120-inch screen. I can only imagine what a 150-inch screen would be like. That's like fucking way bigger than 120. So if you don't have a superior transfer, a 4K transfer, you know, stuff looks bad. Just like episodes 1, 2, and 3 of like WandaVision, super blurry, very soft. But you know, I get it though. It was meant to look that way to replicate what you would see during that time period. I get it. People got upset with me because I put a community post of a screenshot and I said WandaVision episode 1 was blurry as AF, and people were like, "You don't understand. You never watched TV back then." I watched The Honeymooners. I saw The Honeymooners, and I saw I Love Lucy. I saw that shit. I saw all that shit back then. I grew up on that time. I don't remember it looking ever that soft, or maybe just my mind is playing tricks on me. But yeah, man. So listen, if you got a big screen and it's like less than like 4K. Well, to be honest, there's some good. If you have a big screen and there's a really good high quality 1080p transfer, it can look really good. It can look really good on a big screen. There's no denying that. There's some really good looking, like Netflix and HBO Max streams that look really good in 1080p if you're streaming it. And then I think a lot of the stuff on like Netflix, if you're streaming it at 1080p, looks really shitty. If you have if you have like a mid-level projector and you're at that size, then you can notice compression like way easier, especially because usually on cheaper projectors the upscaling is not as good, the processing isn't as good, and you can notice a lot of the macro blocking and stuff like that, the compression. Whereas you get a higher end projector like a JVC or Sony or an Epson, the good Epson stuff that handles the lower bitrate Netflix streams and even like Hulu streams way better than like the cheaper stuff. So I mean, yeah, man, I think it's a good combination of like the resolution and how much what your bit rate is. That's in the actual disc itself or the stream itself. Like a low bit rate 1080p stream is gonna look like shit, whereas a really high bit rate 1080p stream is gonna look pretty good. And then a really high bit rate 4K, even better. Radford Rams. Picture is a picture, just a movie. And so you got people like Radford Rams that says, just watch the movie and enjoy. Totally fine. But that's usually not what I do over here on the channel. We talking about the audio and video quality. In my personal life, though, like I will watch some low quality stuff on my screen just because it's a good movie. Sure, but if I'm talking about something, it's got to look nice, right? Like people want to know if it looks good. But if you just talk about movie quality, just for looking good, sounding good, then yeah, man, enjoy it just for that. There's always those folks that come over here just want to bash me just because I review a shitty movie that happens to look good, which is the majority of this stuff. I think the majority of the shitty movies always have like the best AV quality, rather than being the best having the best intellectual quality. So there's always those folks lingering out there. But all right, man, we're already an hour already. All right, we're gonna log off here. I already had my cocktail. My cocktail is done. Cocktail hour is just about done here. Now cocktail hour is done. All right, guys, I'm logging off. Thanks for checking out the stream. Thanks for hanging out. See you in the next one.